Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. We have the Japanese to thank for some inventions that have made our lives much more convenient and better. But many people don't have an idea of just how much a role Japan and its inventions play in our lives. Let's look at 10 unreal Japanese inventions. Number 10. Karaoke. Karaoke has become a globally popular way for people to embarrass themselves in front of friends, strangers, and work colleagues, but the Japanese were doing it before anybody else. The first karaoke machine was invented in Japan in 1971 by a drummer named Daisuke Inoue, who plugged a tape player into an amplifier. It came about after a businessman asked Inoue to record on tape his favorite songs so that he could sing to them. Karaoke is a type of dining, interactive entertainment or video game developed in Japan, in which an amateur singer sings along with recorded music using a microphone. The music is normally an instrumental version of a well-known popular song. It gave a career to most of the pop song artists of the world.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works.
Number 9. Mini desktop USB washing machine. Wouldn't it be handy to have a device to clean your glasses or waterproof watches as you work? Well, the Japanese have beaten you to it and invented it already, and it is just awesome. This little tabletop washing machine can complete its cleaning cycle in as little as 2 minutes, right before your very eyes. You'll need to add some water, obviously, but otherwise just plug it in and turn it on. But be careful not to knock it over while filled and operational. That might just spoil your day and your computer for that matter. Number 8. QR code. Japan made shopping much faster and easier for the whole world with just a few lines of code. To buy something online or access information in the past, we used to have to type in long and confusing URLs, which was an annoying task, especially if you were doing so on a tiny smartphone keypad or simply had clumsy butterfingers. Now, more and more shops provide us with QR codes that we can quickly scan with our smart device and poof, we get to the site where we can transact with them online. Today, QR codes are used for a great number of things in our everyday lives. Advertisements? Check. Movie and concert tickets? Check. Cashless payment? Check, check, check. A quick response, or QR code, is the two-dimensional matrix barcode invented by the Japanese company DensoWave in 1994. Its original purpose was to track vehicles and scan components at high speeds during the manufacturing process, so it was designed to decode information quickly. Who would have thought that it would become such a huge asset for the capitalist giants around the world? Number 7. Canned coffee. Sometimes when there aren't any cafes nearby and you don't want to settle for an instant coffee, an ice-cold can of coffee fresh from the vending machine really does the trick. As it turns out, the Japanese were the ones who first made coffee to go. Ueshima Tadeo, the founder of Ueshima Coffee Company, was inspired to do so after having to leave his cup of coffee at the train station, even though he only had a sip because his train was departing earlier than scheduled. It struck him that a coffee drink that could be had anywhere would be a great idea. He invested in technology for producing coffee drinks that could be put in a can and stored at room temperature while retaining its flavor. The first canned milk coffee by UCC was released in 1969, but it was not an immediate success. It only started becoming popular after it was introduced in the World Exposition in Osaka in 1970. Canned coffee made from Paka was then introduced into its hot and cold drink vending machines in 1973, which made it a daily staple for many in Japan. Have you ever had canned coffee? Number 6. The Bladeless fan. This thing sounds so cool to imagine how it would actually be in real life, pun intended. When James Dyson launched the new Dyson Bladeless fan in October 2009, he raised many questions about who had first invented the bladeless fan. It turns out that Tokyo-based Shibaura Electric first lodged a patent in 1981 for an almost identically designed bladeless fan. Shibaura Electric is better known to us as Toshiba. According to the Daily Telegraph, documents at the Intellectual Property Office, or IPO, indicate that Dyson was forced to resubmit an application for its worldwide patent on its bladeless fan in 2008, because it was too similar to the Japanese invention. A bladeless fan is the newest trend in the fan industry. It is very powerful as it multiplies the airflow coming out, thus offering much better cooling. Since it is devoid of external blades, it is safer than a conventional ceiling or table fan, as there is no fear of cutting yourself with it. If you think that is cool, wait for what we have for you in the first spot. Number 5. 3D printing. 3D printing has gotten more popular in the last couple of years, likely due to the printers being more affordable now. Still considered new to most of us today, the technology for 3D printing has actually been around for almost 40 years. The first recorded experiments of 3D printing were from 1981 by Japanese inventor Dr. Hideo Kodama. He used ultraviolet light to harden polymer resins and made 3D plastic models layer by layer. You might not get what that means, so in simple terms, he made cool stuff. Unfortunately, his patent application for his 3D printing technology was unsuccessful, as he was unable to apply before the one-year deadline. Today, 3D printing is used in the manufacturing of cars, construction, firearms, and even in the food and medical industries. Japanese companies such as Sushi Singularity even 3D print edible sushi based on each customer's nutritional needs, based on health test kits sent back to the restaurant 2 weeks before their visit. Japan really is like a world of animation. Number 4. Electric rice cooker. What's easier than cooking rice? In modern times, probably nothing, thanks to the invention of the electric rice cooker in 1955 by Toshiba Electric. Before this awesome Japanese invention was born, skilled cooks would have to steam the precious staple on a stove, or in many cases a fire, hoping the grains didn't burn or stick to the pot. The electric rice cooker used an innovative double-chamber cooking method. The rice was placed into the rice pot and water into a surrounding container. After heating the pot, the rice cooker would automatically switch off when all of the water had evaporated, reducing the chances of the rice burning, which was a problem that plagued previous models. The first electric rice cooker was made commercially available in 1965. Soon, Toshiba was producing 200,000 rice cookers per month for the Japanese market, and rice cookers have become ubiquitous in most Asian households. Number 3. Camera phones. Gone are the days when we had to carry around a bulky digital camera, spare batteries, and memory cards to take photos on the go. We now just reach for our mobile phones and snap away, with resolution that could give the DSLR a run for its money. We've got Kyocera, the Japanese electronics company, to thank for that. Kyocera developed the first commercial camera phone. It was released in Japan in May 1999. It was called the Kyocera Visual Phone VP210, and it had a 110,000 pixel front-facing camera. Today's iPhone 11 Pro Max boasts a 12 megapixel camera. That's about 109 times sharper than the 1999 VP210 phone. But without the VP210, there would be no iPhone, or in fact any phone with a camera. We have to thank Japan for this life-changing invention too. The VP210 could store up to 20 JPEG images, which could then be sent over email or Japan's cellular network. And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber. If you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it on a future video. Number 2. This is a cabbage slicer, and it is one of the most used devices ever in the kitchen. If you love coleslaw, this is where it comes from. A cabbage slicer slices and dices your cabbage for you. Some people think this is just a bizarre and useless invention, but we think otherwise. This slicer has removable and adjustable blades. It shreds the cabbage in such a thin layer that is almost impossible to do by hand. To use the slicer, just core the cabbage, place it in the slicer, and start shredding. There is no limit to how many cabbages this device can shred. Would you want to buy this unreal device for your kitchen? Number 1. Umbrellas. Japan is subject to frequent showers and typhoons, and they tend to go through a lot of umbrellas, as you can imagine. So it was only a matter of time before they came up with the idea of head umbrellas. This Japanese invention is something of a legend. It has been around for some time now, and it is a classic example of very practical headwear. It might look a little dorky, but it's very useful, and better yet, completely hands-free. That is not all. In an attempt to save people from using their hands to hold umbrellas, the Japanese also invented the flying umbrella. Millions can thank Asahi Power Services for this ingenious and convenient device because their troubles of holding umbrellas are now over. This drone-mounted umbrella actually uses artificial intelligence to hover above its owner as they go about their daily business. Asahi's device could well be the most over-engineered solution to a basic problem we've ever seen. Frankly, it's an awesome idea, and one that truly does deserve to succeed. That is our list of 10 unreal Japanese inventions. Which one did you like the best? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel.